All right, we're live here, Bitcoin 2026, Las Vegas. James Stephens, CEO of Krown Technologies, official quantum wallet of the conference. Quantum is a huge topic, and most people are probably asking, when Lambo? We're in the Lambo now. I'm asking, when quantum attacks, vulnerabilities on Bitcoin? It's been a huge topic of discussion that a lot of people don't know enough about it. They just know there is a potential threat of quantum attacks on cryptocurrency in the future. You're an expert on it. You guys have built the technology to protect digital assets. It's going to be ever more important as we get closer to Q Day, which we can talk about. Maybe we can start from a high level. What is the realistic threat of quantum attacks on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. So we are in the Lambo for 26, and I'm really happy to be with you on this, especially on this subject. This is actually a subject that I'm going to talk about in my keynote on Tuesday at 11 a.m. at the Genesis stage. So, but what we're seeing is, and in fact it just happened, was the breaking of, even though it was a small standard, the breaking of a key that was tied to a Bitcoin wallet, right? And so, what I always tell everyone is, we only know what quantum's really going to allow us to know, because every time that we find out something new, and it seems to be every single week, we're finding out something new, and then there's all these aha moments, and everything moves up. So the timelines that we're seeing, there's a reason. It's not happenstance. It's not just some coincidence that the timelines for NIST standards all the way up to FIPS. They've moved it up from 2040, then 2035, now 2030, and then Google just came out with their deal. Their announcement that it takes 20 times less qubits, in order to crack it on classical, for a quantum computer, and so. I think it's only the beginning. I personally believe it'll be sometime in 27, 28 that you're really going to see that first major point where someone goes, oh crap, Q Day.
Yeah, the timeline keeps moving up, and like 27, that's literally months away. Not even a year. Is quantum attacks, is Bitcoin a priority? When quantum gets that powerful, wouldn't there be other things that quantum might be able to focus on that's bigger value to hack than the small industry of cryptocurrency right now?
There may be other sectors or other products or platforms that we could focus on, but when we talk about an industry like crypto, and we talk about billions and billions and even trillions of dollars, for me and our company, for Krown, it's really about Bitcoin. It's really about Ethereum. It's really about the Krown network and securing these layer ones, securing these exchanges. We've had people call us that are like, hey, we want to talk to you guys about securing our network or securing our exchange. And there's a reason for that, because they're one of the few people these days in these companies that recognize the threat, the emerging threat that's happening, because it's all over the place. Quantum's all over the place. 26 and 27 years of quantum, that's really what it's about. So I always say that, the answer is yes, but I always say that complacency on these teams and complacencies in these companies are the real threat and the real killer, right? So, I think 26 to 27 is where it's at, and I think you're right. It's certainly becoming a topic, and yes, it is worth it. It is worth it, without a doubt. You just can't imagine a break in a major wallet, right? Because Q Day is not going to arrive like on some horse and and with a trumpet sounding, right? It's going to happen quietly. It's going to happen lethally on an infrastructure, and it will be everywhere. It'll be one of the greatest unfortunate headlines in the world.
Yeah. There's no countdown, no. And if there is an estimated countdown, it keeps accelerating. You don't know the exact day that it's going to happen. So how does Qastle Wallet prepare, and how do you just prepare the digital asset industry in general for protection from quantum? If it's going, like, how do you know what to protect, and how the attacks will actually happen?
When you build something like Qastle, what you want to do, and it's been in my experience, I've been in this industry almost 10 years, this sector. What I did was I looked back at my own misfortunes. I was scammed, I was hacked, I was the victim of fraud on this stuff. And that was really the catalyst for creating Krown and creating Qastle. I looked at the threats, I knew what they were, I saw what was not being addressed. I was talking about but quantum back in 22, 23, and people would pat you on the back and they would be like, attaboy, we're so happy, that's great, keep it up. Now you're getting phone calls, now you're getting DMs and things like that, right? So for us, we approach it from the perspective of what is a big need, how do we solve it, and how fast can we get it done without sacrificing our innovation, our execution, and our standards. So Qastle really addresses that from the foundation up, and that's what it was built for, was quantum. That's why we're here today. That's why we're one of the major sponsors. And that's why we're the official quantum wallet of the Bitcoin conferences, BTC, so yeah.
So when quantum attacks hit, is having a quantum wallet storing your Bitcoin or other coins enough? Or does quantum actually attack the Bitcoin blockchain at its core?
Okay, so the protocol, the protocol is not the issue yet. It's at the wallet level.
Okay.
All right. So it's your keys. It's the keys, and that is the one thing. Like we're in Decrypt now, harvest now, decrypt later time frame, right? They've already started harvesting these public keys, and they'll decrypt them later. So Qastle was built with these things in mind, that this is how we need to protect. And if people have Qastle, the only way you're going to either have a stalemate, neutralize, whatever, is if, you always heard the old saying, fight fire with fire. Well, it's fight quantum with quantum, right? And so that's what we're doing, especially with our partners at Quantum Emotion. They're the ones that help to provide the quantum random number generation, which is true random entropy. It's the only way that you're going to actually be secure with your keys. There's no other, everything else claims that, we're quantum resistant. But this is actually, that's pseudo-randomness. We have true entropy, true randomness.
So do you guys actually have quantum computers that are helping defend against this?
So they've been tested. The technology at Quantum Emotion with regard to the QRNG was tested through Qiskit with the IBM. And so that is the standard, and that has already been tested and passed, and so we know what it can do. We know how powerful the electron tunneling technology is. So for us, it's not about having the quantum computer and saying, okay, well, let's do this, this. They know what it's capable of there, and so what they did is they applied what we know there, and then they were able to test that way. And that's just one piece to the puzzle. Our stack is over 6 different PQCs. And so, and we layer them in a strategic way where they're at their strengths, whether it's signatures, whether it's a lattice, but whatever it may be, however it sits, the QRNG on the keys, everything sits where it's most powerful in defense.
Definitely. In general, they say your Bitcoin is safer on a hardware wallet than it is on the exchange, but that doesn't apply when it comes to quantum, does it?
No. In fact, I have people that had cold wallets, and they actually put theirs on Qastle because the level is cold level. Even though we are introducing Excalibur next year, our cold wallet, it's our quantum cold wallet.
Okay.
We are introducing that. Breaking news on your show, by the way.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's amazing, but it will be the most secure cold wallet in the world.
Yeah.
And we're working out right now. We're in the prototyping stage of it, but we have all of the pieces to the puzzle there, right? But people that want that cold wallet protection level, they want that cold wallet feel. They can get that with Qastle, but with the convenience and the efficiency of hot. So.
Yeah, no, that's important because from what I understand, Qastle it's a hot wallet, but it has that protection level. But some people might not want to move their life fortune from their treasure that they haven't touched. I feel people are scared to move assets that they've been holding for 10 years. They want something, that cold level wallet, and I'm guessing that's a part of the roadmap. That's part of the roadmap.
Yeah. It's absolutely part of the roadmap. Actually, Camelot, which is the name of our ecosystem, people ask me, well, give me the 10-minute spiel, and I've said this before on your show, I think last time we did it, but if you can imagine the human body, okay, the Krown network is the human body, and inside that are the organs, all of the ecosystem products, and they all run off that self-sustaining. It's secured, and that's how we're building that roadmap. We're slowly putting all the organs into place under the chain. So
it's very cool. So if you have, this doesn't just apply to Bitcoin, right? This applies to the other chains, other assets. To what extent? I don't know if you're storing your meme coins on there, but Ethereum, Solana, everything. So is it as simple as just like you would be withdrawing from the exchange, you're just moving it into Qastle Wallet, and then by default you have the quantum protection?
Yes, so once you're in Qastle, you have the protection at rest there, right? And then also a new update that we just pushed is the ability to bridge swap, and that was huge because being able to have and stay in the environment of Qastle and being secure there, you're able to do everything that you want to do. You don't have to go out. Used to, you'd have to go out to DEXs or CEXs or whatever, whereas now everything stays there, and that's the whole idea. Keep the people protected. We have a solemn duty, and it's really a mission of mine to keep people protected from what I consider to be the scum of the earth, which are these scammers. And they steal billions and billions of dollars every year, and a lot of it's social engineering. And by the way, we have an announcement making for that with regard to fighting back the social engineering side of that. So
that's important. There's been a lot of hacks and different vulnerabilities in DeFi in the beginning of 26 here.
Yeah.
Is that something that, not just for the wallet, but can you apply this kind of quantum protection for DApps and to just make the whole digital asset ecosystem stronger?
That is part of what we're going to announce. Yes,
okay.
Yes, it's coming out today. Well, coming out Tuesday, but yes, they'll have the ability to protect and basically come under the umbrella, or we can license that to them, and they can take part in it that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I love that fact because I feel like a lot of people, when they put their Bitcoin on cold storage, they're like, it's a hassle to, if you want to trade or move into other assets, but that's very easily possible on Qastle, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, Ethereum, Solana, whatever, we've built them natively into Qastle. So when you download Qastle and you actually bring up the main screen on it, you've got everything. You've got BTC, you've got Krown, you've got Ethereum, you've got Ether, you got Sol, you got Base. I mean, you've got all the different networks. So it's really important to do that, because what you want to do is, even though they may not choose you, and they may have everything on another chain, at least give these people the option to be more protective for it, right? And then they can rethink it later on.
Definitely. So you guys have announced this 6-year partnership with the Bitcoin conference and also the Futurist conference in Canada, the biggest Canadian conference. I think, if this Q Day comes around in the next 12 months or more, you guys are just ahead of the curve on this.
So that was the plan from the beginning. The plan was to lock it down with BTC on the front side there, and then to come back around the back side and lock down the security side of it, right? So we did that with Quantum Emotion on that 5-year exclusive deal. No quantum products could be sold except through Krown, right, in this sector. And the other side of it was BTC, which was that we wanted the exposure, but we also, we had technical meetings with them. It was really a lot of DD going on, before they would agree to something as big as exclusive quantum wallets and things like that, right? It's huge. They don't put their name on something for no reason. So we were very honored about that, but yes, so we have that 6-year partnership with BTC. We have the 6-year deal also with Futurist in Toronto, as well as Miami. So, and we'll own Miami. We're the title sponsor there. So it's a really big deal. Yeah, and when it comes around in 27, 28, whatever it may be, as you start to see these hacks evolve and you start to see the news spread, and every time you wake up and you turn on the news channel, or you're hearing something on your feed, and it's like a quantum attack has done this, whatever. Every time these people now go for the next 6 years to these conferences, it's going to be a staple of everything that they see and know. So that was the plan.
It's very exciting. So is the primarily go to the App Store or Android store, you can just download the wallet and transfer your assets in to start getting protected really quickly?
Absolutely, yeah. So there's monthly and annual options. You can save 2 months if you do annual. You can go monthly if you want to, and then you'll store everything in there. You just sign up and you're all set to go. It's an app. Yeah, go to App Store, go to Google Play, download it, all set.
Sounds great. I appreciate you taking the time, enlightening me on all this quantum stuff. It's gonna be crazy, and I think a lot of people, they're just gonna wake up one day and realize, oh, I really should have put my digital assets in like quantum protected wallets ahead of time and not scrambling after the fact.
Or they're gonna wake up and go, thank God. Ash, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. Yes, sir.